Oh, three, two, one. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're enjoying these lessons, week two of me, Lessons with Mr. D. Today we're going to look at some literacy today. It's a bit different to the plan that I had scheduled. However, we didn't really get time to look at some non-fiction comprehension properly last week. So I thought we'd do a little bit of that just to finish and just to tie off those loose ends. You did some lovely writing and some lovely skills work on how to read non-fiction. So I think we'll put all that to practice with some comprehension skills. And then we'll get on to setting descriptions later in the week. Just want to say some fantastic pieces of writing. Some people have done videos of themselves and some presentations. It's absolutely fantastic work, and I hope some of you have got some feedback from your work. Still waiting for a few more to come in. If you want to send me anything to get marked, that's absolutely fine. Not a requirement. You don't have to send me anything, and if you don't want to, these are just videos for you to get some lessons at home. But if you want me to check anything, or if you want any help, just ask me a question, come online, and I'll try and help as best I can. So yeah, without further ado, we will look at some non-fiction text today. I think we've looked at some of these before, or you might have seen them, but we'll go through them together and see how we get on. So let me throw those up for you a second, and we'll get started. Right then, so I will send the video out, and with it I'll attach the work that I'm working from and a few others if you want to have a go independently as well. So here's a big list of loads of non-fiction texts. You can pause the video here, and if you like the look of any of these and you want, and we don't do it today, I can send you the link, or I can send you a copy of the text if you want to have a go at answering non-fiction on a topic that you like. One of the main things that I love about non-fiction is that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you get to read a topic about something that you know, which is really useful because you can use your background knowledge. If you ever have a text that you're reading that you know about, so you might already know some of the answers, or you might already have a clue as to what the answers may be. So one of the reasons why I love answering questions about non-fiction is that you might get lucky and you might be able to read about something that you know, which means when you're answering the questions, you don't have to spend a load of time reading every little bit of the text. Oh, don't want viruses. You can just spend the time answering the questions and using some other skills that you might learn later on in your school about skim reading and other techniques that you can use when you're answering non-fiction texts. So because we did animals, I'm going to pick one of these animal ones. But if you like any of the looks, if you like the look of any of the other ones, there's one about Wimbledon. These are all non-fiction, by the way. Tour de France, sun safety, which might be good if you're interested in light. I might put that one on. We will do pet care of guinea pigs, and we'll have a look at this together. We'll let that load up. Three, two, one. So who can remember any of those skills that we talked about when we were reading? So we're going to be thinking about our background knowledge. Do you have a guinea pig yourself? Do you know what one is? So you can probably recognize one from the picture. If you don't have one, are they similar to other pets? Remember, the title is pet care, so we're looking at taking care of animals. So have a think about all that background knowledge that you might already know about how do we take care of animals. What any questions that pop into your mind? Well, it might be, first of all, what is a guinea pig? Maybe how are they different from pigs? Do they have any similarities to pigs? Some predictions of some questions if we're looking at pet care. What food do they eat? How do you clean them? What do you need for them to survive? Do you need anything specific? Do you need any equipment? Do you need to buy special tools? These are some of the questions that I'm thinking that might pop up. So if they come in the text, I'm already answering the questions in my head. We know that there's going to be some VIP words. If you're reading non-fiction text, there's going to be some technical vocabulary. There's going to be some words that are specific to pet care or guinea pig. So we're going to have to keep an eye out for those, because they're the kind of words that are going to cause us to not quite understand what we're reading. So that's the time when we need to use our meaning breakdown, read around the words that we don't know to try and get an idea of what that word might be, so we can understand what the sentence is telling us. So I'm going to read these out loud. You can read it along to yourself, or you can pause it so you don't listen to me jabbering on at the same time if you want to read in your own head. And whilst I'm reading, I might highlight stuff as we go along. I'll make it bigger for everybody. So if you don't want to hear me jabbering on, you want to read in quiet, I'll just scroll down now and you can pause the video after each paragraph. And then I'll read it all together and we can have a look at answering this together. Pet care of guinea pigs. This is the first page. Already, did you know? Again, you can pause it if you like to have a read. There's different levels actually. So this is the first level. Let's just pause there or figure out what. So I think we're ready to start. So I'm going to read out loud. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking as I'm reading. And hopefully with practice, you can start having the same kind of thought processes that I am, and it'll help you be really successful when reading non-fiction. So as I've already scrolled down, you'll notice that because it's non-fiction, everything's neatly organized into headings and subheadings. So we can guess that this paragraph is only going to be about diet. So yeah, diet's a key word, but we probably remember that diet's about things that we eat. Okay, so if there was a question that spoke about food, we'd know that we don't need to scroll through the whole text. We can just go to the bit that talks about diet. We know that that's going to be the introduction, because we've looked at that in our writing. That's going to introduce us to the topic. Guinea pigs are small mammals with short legs and no tail. They originally come from South America. Yeah, a good introduction about what we're going to be reading about and what a guinea pig is. These are the environment. We've looked at did you know boxes as well. They help us draw the reader in. And then the behavior, and then some diagrams and some pictures as well. So, because remember that key feature of non-fiction texts, that you don't have to read it in any order. You can just pick up a non-fiction text and you will be able to understand it. And this feature is very, very important when answering questions, because if you feel confident enough, sometimes you can use if you know the features really well and you know how non-fiction is set out, sometimes you don't need to read all of the text straight away. If you feel confident, you can sometimes go straight to the questions and work out how to find those just from how the text is set out. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, that's absolutely fine. And some people prefer to read it all first, to have a picture of what the text is about. However, some people, this is me, I know that with non-fiction, I can use as a presentation and I can locate the facts from just reading the question. So we'll have a look at that first before we start. I'll show you what I mean. So the first question, these are mainly retrieval questions, which I want to focus on today. Where do guinea pigs come from? So because it's not a fiction, because it's not a story, because it's not a setting, I don't need to read the whole text to get the context. I can read the question and understand what kind of information I need to find. So where do guinea pigs come from? Well, to come from somewhere, I'm looking for a place. So I can scan or I can look for places. Are there any words that I've read already that are places? Well, I remember from the introduction that it said South America, that's a place. So I'll double check that that was what they were talking about. They originally come from South America. Bingo. And I haven't had to read the whole of the text, and I've already got 1 mark. Um, that was a little bit easy because I've already read the introduction, but I can prove that this technique works. I'll go to a random question. Let's go to number 6. So it's a random question. What part of them grows all the time? Okay, so it's talking about body parts. So then I can maybe think in my head, well, this might be a good interesting fact, mightn't it? So if it's an interesting fact, it might be in a did you know section. That's just how my mind's thinking. Or there's going to be a subheading that talks about the body or the parts, or there's going to be a diagram that I'm looking for parts of the guinea pig. So what I mean by that is, am I going to find the answer to what part grows all the time in the diet? Probably not, because that's going to be just about the food. Am I going to find about the environment? Well, no, because it's not talking about their body. I might check the did you knows, because that might be an interesting fact, which part grows all the time. And surely enough, in this third box here, did you know their teeth grow all the time? So random question, and that's taken me no time at all. I haven't had to read all the text. Just a little example of how non-fiction can be. Some people find it easier because you don't have to read the whole story to work out what's going on. Anyway, enough of me jabbering. Let's have a go at answering some of these questions and reading the text together. Guinea pigs are small mammals with short legs. They originally come from South Africa. Some key vocab there, isn't there? Mammals, that refers to a type of animal. And South America, which is a continent. Diet. Now we know that what diet means, but that is a VIP word. It's a word that means food, isn't it? So this talks about the food that they eat. Guinea pigs need to eat food like hay to give them fiber. What's fiber? Well, maybe they need to eat food to give them fiber. Ooh, not quite sure. Let's read on and see if that helps. This helps them digest their food. Fiber is something that they eat that helps them digest their food. Guinea pigs should have vegetables and some type of fruit every day, but only in small amounts. Lemons and limes can make them ill. Oh, I might just locate that. That could be a good question. I'm predicting what fruits can the guinea pig not have. Well, they can't have lemons and limes. Why can't they have lemons and limes? Because it makes them ill. Do not give them these fruits. The environment. So how do guinea pigs live? What do they need to live a comfortable life? Guinea pigs need a large area, like a hutch. That's a key word. That's a special word that the wooden box that guinea pigs live in, or rabbits have a hutch. So they can have room to explore. So they can't be in a small cage, they need a large area. They should have a safe, warm, and dry area where they are away from other pets. Okay, so if you've got cats, do you need to be careful? Probably. The temperature must be comfortable. If it gets too hot, they can get heat stroke. I guess with all that fur, you need to make sure it doesn't get too hot. And guinea pigs must be in a quiet place. They're quite timid animals. It might ask you, are guinea pigs shy animals? Yes, because they like to be in quiet places. Did you know we know that did you know sections are usually going to be interesting facts. They are active for 20 hours a day. Whew. Guinea pigs cannot climb or dig, but they like to go down tunnels. So you might need some to think about some rolls or some tunnels activities for the guinea pigs to do because they like to go through tunnels, and their teeth grow all the time. But they need lots of hay and bits to chew on to keep them so they don't grow too long, because that makes guinea pigs poorly if they don't have anything to grind their teeth on. Their teeth get infected. Let's carry on. This is a picture, a diagram of the hutch. Lock on it to keep the guinea pigs safe. Their behaviour. Guinea pigs need lots of exercise. They like to run through tubes and pipes. Well, we know that because we read that earlier in the Did You Know? They are prey animals. Ooh, the key word there, prey. What's prey? Predators and prey. So the prey get eaten by the predators, so they're going to be timid animals, scared animals, shy animals. They want to hide because they think they're going to get eaten all the time. When this happens, they will freeze and be totally still. So don't scare your guinea pigs. They can see all around themselves. They have eyes at the side of their head, so they can see 360 degrees. They can see where they might need to escape. Guinea pigs need to live in pairs or small groups, so you can't buy one on their own. You have to get them in pairs. They are very happy if they're on their own. They get very unhappy, sorry. They need to get used to being picked up. So you can't just go around and be there and touch them. You might get a nasty bite. So you've got to coach them and train them to be able to be picked up by humans. Guinea pig signs of stress. So they're prey animals, so they're going to be naturally cautious. They're going to they need to protect themselves. So if they sense any danger, they need to be able to protect themselves. So you've got to look out for these signs if they're overstressed, if they're overscared. So if they're over grooming themselves, that means grooming is a word where you look after your body. So we brush our hair, make sure it's nice and clean and washed, maybe put some product in it. They will lick themselves and keep their furs clean. So if they're doing that more often, they might be stressed or scared. Chewing at bars or the cage, if they're doing lots of chewing and drinking lots of water. If any of these signs, you need to take it to the vet. Dangers of the guinea pig. So grass that has been cut by a lawnmower can kill them. Ooh. Bedding that can be pulled apart can cause problems for guinea pigs. They might eat it. So if you're thinking about cushions, not natural stuff like hay, but if you've got little plump cushions, bedding that can be ripped up is very dangerous. And other animals, if you've got cats or dogs, you need to keep them separate, keep them away. Phew. Right. So you wouldn't necessarily read it like that, you'd read all the words. But what I was saying when I'm talking about each paragraph is what's going on in my head as I'm reading the words. I'm trying to piece the context together. Yeah, I'm trying to use all the text information and fill in some of the gaps and become an expert myself about what I need to do in order to take care of my own guinea pig. So then let's have a look at answering some questions. We did this one where they came from. We can probably remember they came from South America. Now, another tip when answering comprehension questions, this is for both fiction and non-fiction, is that the first question is usually about stuff at the beginning. And as you move through the questions, it moves through the text. So if you're at question 10, let's say, it's unlikely that the answer is going to be at the very beginning. Second to that, if it says to look at food or to look at environment, you know that you're not going to start all the way from the beginning again to find that information. You can go to the exact paragraph that's going to give you that information. So let's go on to question number 2 then. What do guinea pigs need to eat? Right, we talked about this. Eat. Yeah. Well, it does talk about food, but you also need to know that diet means the same thing as what we eat. So I can go to diet because there were some tricks, wasn't there? There were some little tricks that they threw in. You might think, they need food. Lemons and limes, they eat lemons and limes. That would be wrong because can't eat lemons and limes because that makes them ill. What do they need to eat? They need to eat food like hay, or you could put some vegetables or small amounts of vegetables and fruits. That's what they need to eat. Super. Remember, you can pause the videos if you want to go and find the answers yourself. I will attach the text as well so you can have a go on yourself on the screen as well if you don't like me talking over all the time. What sort of hutch do guinea pigs need to live and why? So there's another technique you can use. It's use that VIP word hutch. So I don't need to read the whole text again. I can look for that keyword hutch and hopefully find the answer. Where's that keyword hutch that I'm... yes, I made a note of it. They need a large hutch so that they can have room to explore. So that would be your answer. What sort of hutch do guinea pigs need to live? Guinea pigs need a large hutch. Why? Because they need lots of room to run around. What could happen if a guinea pig gets too warm? So temperature, warmth, that's going to be the environment, isn't it? So I'm going to go to the environment section. And where does it talk about warmth? Well, another word for warmth is hot and heat. If the temperature gets too hot, they can get heat stroke. Heat stroke is where your body starts to get over hot and shuts down. Humans can get heat stroke as well if they spend too much time in the sun. What happens if a guinea pig gets too warm? If a guinea pig gets too warm, it gets heat stroke. Can you see how I'm using the question to help me answer? It's called flipping the question. What could happen if a guinea pig gets too warm? I'm not going to write heat stroke. I'm going to write in a proper sentence. If the guinea pig gets too warm, it could get heat stroke. Big tick for me. I'm going to do this one more question and then I'm going to let you guys have a go. And I will attach some more copies if you want to have a go at some other ones as well. Give one example of something guinea pigs like to do. What do guinea pigs like to do? So I'm looking for behaviors. What do they like to do? So it says that in this did you know section, it tells about something about like. I'm looking for keywords. I'm trying to skim read for words like or enjoy or fun. Things that are similar that it might tell me what a guinea pig likes to do for fun. They like to go down tunnels. It says here again that they like lots of exercise and to run through tubes. Anything along the lines of being active or doing lots of exercise will probably give you a mark there. Again, why don't you have a go at answering the last couple of questions by yourself. Now, it's probably better to come away from the video and upload the attachment that I've sent on DB Primary and do it like that rather than having to go back to where I read the text. Just a point of warning for people if you're doing that is that on the document it does have the answers for you, so don't use those to check and don't read up the answers, otherwise you don't know if you got it wrong. It also gives 3 levels, so we've done the easier level to start off with, but there are level 2 and level 3. You will have to read the text, even though it's similar. It makes it harder by adding more information. And by number 3, you've got to do lots and lots of reading and lots of questions. There's a few more bits to read once you get to the level 3 question, and the questions are a little bit harder. So for example here, this is not a retrieval question, this is to test your non-fiction knowledge. What is the purpose of that first paragraph? Well, we know that that first paragraph is one of the key features of non-fiction, and that's our introduction. First paragraph is an introduction to introduce the topic, to give the reader a little bit of information about what they're going to be reading about. You should know that from the other lessons. Super. I'm probably going to leave it there, so I will upload this guinea pig one and another couple for you to have a go at. However, I'll put that back on. If you like the look at any of these, so you got armed forces, so the army, carnivals, the FA Cup, fossils, some more pet care. If you like the look of any of these, I will upload those. Send me a message. Oh, Mrs. Davis, can you send me the one about Usain Bolt? And I can send you that one. Yeah, remember the answers are in the text as well if you need help, but try and do it as independently as possible. Don't cheat. Super. So yeah, have a practice of answering some non-fiction comprehension questions. Hopefully that's helped you think about some of the skills when you're reading. And if you're still writing your non-fiction text about animals, keep doing that as well and send it to me if you want to have it checked out. That's all for today. Again, the text will be uploaded on DB Primary with the video. And yeah, happy Monday. See you next time. Bye-bye.